Hello guys, NautoAce here, and before I basically start my actual video, and the video is going to be a response to Miles923 on Geo Battle Coliseum, because he was doing a legacy streaming on Rock Howard, because Rock Howard's going to be in King Fighter 14, and one of the games he played was one of my all-time favorites for SNK. It's Geo Battle Coliseum, and basically I just gave an explanation of what Geo Battle Coliseum and who are the characters in the game. Not really a good idea to some extent, even so I knew most of the characters, I knew about the game. I was missing some characters in the game, so there's going to be a little bit of correction before starting my video. So this is some of the correction I want to say first before basically doing that video. So the first thing is it's a more obscure one. I did talk about characters from Last Blade and Last Blade 2. There are actually 4 of them. So 3 of them, or technically 2 of them, I got them right, and the other 2 I did not. So the 2 I got right was Kaede, which is the main character of Last Blade, and in the game he's in awakening form. His hair is blonde. And the guy in red I got it right also, and his name is Moria Minataka. It's another character from Last Blade. So did I mention the guy said, oh, it's a Shichigumi guy, but I didn't know the guy's name, because I'm not really familiar with Last Blade to some extent. I know about the game, but not all the characters. So the Shichigumi guy that I missed, his name is Keiichiro Washizuka. So it's a Shichigumi guy. Apparently in the game, or Last Blade, is the second in command of the Shichigumi. You can tell, blue with white triangle, that's the Shichigumi. The game takes place in the MmGS era, by the way. And the other one I made a mistake was a Miko priestess. I said her name was Kaede, but I made a mistake. That's the main character. Her name is Akari Ichio, which is she's a priestess, but she can summon demon. I mean, it kind of showed even in Geo Battle Coliseum. So that's the part there I missed out. So Last Blade. Now, the other thing that I missed in the game is the Fatal Fury. In Fatal Fury, I did mention all of them except for one, and that is Geese Howard. I forgot that Geese Howard is in the game. So you got a Rock Howard and Geese Howard. I mean, they were both in King of Fighter 14 now. Rock Howard's the DLC, by the way. But Geese Howard is in the game. Gotta mix the boat there. Okay, so, and I think I did talk about Tung Fu, that one, I can't remember. But anyway, moving from there is Art of Fighting. I said there were only 3 characters. Again, I made a mistake. There are actually 4. So first 2, like I said, there is Rio and Robert. And if they look different, I did explain it there. The gist of it is Rio in that game is from Budokai 1. It's another game, a 3D game, but it's about MMA. The reason why Robert looks old, they need to parody him with Rio. So it's supposed to be an older Robert. The guy I said with the mask and claw is Lee Pai. He's from Art of Fighting 1. Again, not so much of the character I know there. That's why. Basically their version of Vega to some extent. And the guy that I miss, and I can't believe it, is the big boss in Art of Fighting. It's Mr. Big. He's also in the game, so again, I had a mistake there, so I'm correcting it here. And then I think lastly is Mark of the Wolf. I said 2, which is I said Terry and Rock Howard. Terry also is in the Fatal Fury, but he's in Mark of the Wolf. He's back and he looks different. Rock Howard, I already mentioned because he's well known. He's the main character of the game. Now another one I missed, and I can't believe I did it, is Hotaru, another character from Mark of the Wolf. And she's basically the sister of Gato, who basically is from Mark of the Wolf. He debuted in the King Fighter series in 2003 and 11. So, there you go. Those are the characters I kind of missed in Geo Battle Coliseum. Because there are a lot of characters, believe it or not. Oh yeah, and also one more thing is I think Samurai Showdown is another, I made a mistake there. Okay, the last part here, Samurai Showdown. There are 5 characters in Samurai Showdown. 3 from the original, I think I did mention that one, and 2 from Samurai Showdown 64. The one from the original just to get the body mentioned on the main video, is Haomaru, which is the main character of the Samurai Showdown game. Genjuro debuted in Samurai Showdown 2. It's supposed to be a rival to Haomaru. And Genjuro was also in SNK vs. Capcom Chaos. And the third one is Nakaruru. Of course, you see her in King of Fighter 14. There you go. And the two, I think one of them, I made a mistake in the name. One is Ashura, is one of the new characters for Samurai Showdown 64, supposed to be a demon. And another one is another new character. And I think I said Asuka, which is, that's not her name. It's someone else, but it's in the Samurai Showdown, but a different game. Her name is Shiki. And both of them from Samurai Showdown 64. Now they're on Geo Battle Coliseum. So I think those are the correction that I made a mistake on the main video. So with that, I'm going to play the main video, a response to Miles923 on the characters of Geo Battle Coliseum. Alright. Hello guys, NautoAisDx here. And this is going to be sort of a response to Miles923, aka Maximilliandood, on his Rock Howard Legacy. And if you follow his YouTube or you've watched him on Twitch, he did a stream of playing all the games that has Rock Howard in it prior to the release of the King of Fighter 14 DLC. Of course, he's going to be playing Rock Howard. That's his favorite character. So, one of the games that he was playing, and it's not mostly responding mostly to the comment that a lot of people were sometimes. Well, some of them were sad because it's just that the deal is that to some extent Max sort of didn't. I don't know if Max is trying to be entertaining, or he really actually don't know a lot of the SNK characters or the franchise. I remember one of his videos that he did mention about why is he not into or not really in depth into like King of Fighter. He does play King of Fighter games, but he's never been like in depth that you don't see a lot of online warriors. And he did mention that to some extent he just said the mechanics were just too different than Street Fighter. Again, if you want to know, you can just check to his YouTube channel. So some of them kind of disappointed, like, oh man, you don't know a lot of this character. And I think some comment I do read, like they don't even know about this game to some extent, are not knowledgeable with the franchise of SNK. So it's sort of a response to Maximum, but also to the people who they don't know about this game. Why am I even talking about this game? And that is Geo Battle Coliseum. Believe it or not, for me, I like fighting game. This is one of my favorite SNK fighting games. Believe it or not, I like SNK game fighting game. I've been playing King of Fighter. I bought it for home console. But this is one of my, I guess, top favorite one, Geo Battle Coliseum, because the variety of the characters, I like it. The mechanics is, again, 2-on-2 tag system. Basically sort of an improvement there of King of Fighter 2003 and 11. No, excuse me. And overall, the story is it's fun. It's a story, sort of a tidbit based on the real business, that what happened to them. So that's why I like Geo Battle Coliseum there. So you notice that he's playing, he's like, who's this character? Wait, what? Who's this certain character? Like he even mentioned two characters. Man, what is it? Dragon Ball Kids character? And again, I'll explain that later. And some people probably believe he only sort of know like the mainstream King of Fighter SNK characters such as from Fatal Fury, maybe to some extent Art of Fighting, Samurai Shodown. It does look like, I think he probably know more because he's sort of also known World's Hero to some extent. Maybe only the two main characters, because there's also a character from an obscure game. He said, what is it, anime chick character? And I'm like, and then to some extent he had like some, I guess, feudal Japanese character, or some of them from Meiji era, but I'll explain that later. He's like, is that Samurai Shodown? No, it's Last Blade, Samurai Shodown. I mean, again, it could be entertaining, maybe just not like, it's not into depth, and I can understand, like, I like the SNK characters because I think they're unique more than Capcom. That's just me. But sometimes I feel like you're sort of like not really very interested in it. You don't really do research. Like for me, I actually do research about Super Sentai. I didn't really understand until later on when I did research on the internet. Because heck, it debuted in 1994. There was no internet, so I didn't even know that it was based in Japan with stock footage and or they just use some clip to insert it. It's the same deal, well, sort of. This, but you gotta understand what I'm trying to say. Research if you're really into it, and if you're not into it, that's sort of what it is. But again, it could be just being entertained. He's trying to entertain the fans. That's all he does. That's what the whole point of his channel. So with that, basically, here's my sort of explanation of what is the Geo Battle Coliseum. I think I kind of mentioned this in the King of Fighter retrospective, but I think not so much in depth with Neo Geo Battle Coliseum because, believe it or not, this game it's sort of a per se spiritual sequel to SNK versus Capcom Chaos to some extent, and I'll explain that sort of how. So the game basically is like I said, the name is Neo Geo Battle Coliseum. Neo Geo, of course, the system for SNK, powerful system during the 16-bit era, but of course it was too expensive. So that's what it is. And in this game, again, like I said, it's a 2-on-2 tag system rather than King of Fighters 3 out of 5. The tag system was introduced in 2003 and 11, but they refined it in this game. So it's a like fighter. It's a lot of an all-star character. Yes, it's an all-star SNK game, more in depth than the King of Fighter. King of Fighter is basically maybe an all-star fighting game, but it is basically the Southtown story. What does that mean? They're basically the same universe as Fatal Fury, Art of Fighting, and to some extent Psycho Soldier, Ikari Warriors. They're in the same universe that started in Southtown because basically our characters from Fatal Fury, Art of Fighting, and like I said, the franchise I just mentioned, Psycho Soldier, Ikari Warriors, joining together and of course introducing a new main character. Of course his name is Kyo. When you think about King of Fighting, you think about Kyo and Hiyori. So that's why it's called like sort of the Southtown story. But there are other SNK games. Well, why is it not Samurai Shodown in the game? Why not this particular or Metal Slug or this and that? Because they're not in the same universe per se, or maybe they are, maybe they're not. Who knows? And they're probably not fitting King of Fighter. That's when Neo Geo Battle Coliseum comes in. So it's more of a all-star SNK game that's from other games, especially from this one, not only from SNK themselves, but ADK. ADK basically sort of a second party that works with SNK. Like some of the game they did, one most notable one is World Zero. And we have a PS4, there's a PS2 to a PS4 game called ADK Damashi, which is basically five games from ADK into a PS2 compilation. Never came in America until now. I bought it. I have no idea why I did, but it's a good like quick game. But it had fun games. So there you go. That's when you Geo Coliseum in what the gist of it. So now the premise of the story is very interesting. Is you're basically are supposed to be a hero of justice from Neo Geo Land. Yeah, I know it's a weird name. It takes place actually in the future. It's supposed to be like 21XX from what I heard. Not like 98, 99, 2000, whatever. Like 21. Supposed to be in the future, and they summon SNK heroes from different time and space. So the main characters here, basically in the original one, their name are Yuki and I. And you have to think of them as sort of a Neo Geo SNK superfan. Why? They do move that basically have SNK reference, believe it or not. One of the moves that Yuki does is he does an uppercut, but he turns into Duke from that game and their version of the Final Fight game. I think it's Burning Fight. There you go. And then they do like a exclusive tag team. They turn into Atomic Guy, which is, if you don't know what Atomic Guy is, he's like the super Ultraman of SNK in King of Monsters. Popular game. It's like a classic wrestling game with monsters. Kind of hard. You need a turbo button, but again, different story. I kind of did like a showcase on that one. And from she basically has a Neo Geo Pocket that can summon this one mascot for the Neo Geo Pocket. They got SNK move, that's the whole point. But they're the main character. They call themselves the Hero of Justice or the Hero of Justice of SNK. And the bad guy is a bit spoiler, but this game is really old, 2005, I think, 6. His name is Goodman. That's his name. Is yeah. Oh, sorry, I just got distracted a bit there. His name is Goodman, and he's supposed to be the president of Wares, WAREZ, and he's basically there to destroy everything SNK. And if you notice, I said the leader of Wares or Juarez. It's basically a jab to SNK when they basically went bankrupt. And the reason why they went bankrupt was their games, their Neo Geo game, I mean, sadly it may be, were emulated. You know, rather go to an arcade paying that 50 cents to $1 to play the game, people were, emulator, ROMs, or wares, Juarez. It is, yes, it is poking fun of themselves or poking fun of the situation that they went bankrupt because, thanks to, well, emulator and ROM, they went out of business. So you gotta see the pun there. That's why Ware or Wares. In Japan, they just call it Juarez. So, and he's the ultimate bad guy. And the bad guy, the funny thing is, for strange reason, he does remind you of Ignis from the Ultimate Boss for 2001. So I don't know what the deal is, but they don't have the same move, but let's just say both of them are still cheesy. Yeah. So again, that's the main premise of the game, and that's what they need to call heroes from other SNK universe. So of course you got your King of Fighters, some of your King of Fighter characters. You got King of Fighter characters there. There's I'm trying to remember this on top of my head, so bear with it. It's Nescartel Kyo, which is I'm surprising why that they chose that version rather than 2003. Neskio is what they call it because of the outfit. Yori, Shermie, and Kay are the 4 people that represent King of Fighters. And then 2 for Marco the Wolf. Yes, 2 of them. Of course, Miles 923's favorite character, Rock Howard, and Terry. Terry basically is based on Marco the Wolf. And of course, remember, like I said, if you played 2003 and 11, that was his get up. I don't know why he went back to his old one. Whatever. Maybe there's a DLC outfit for it. Who cares? Moving on. And then from Fatal Fury, it's actually 5. I think 5 characters, if I remember. 5 characters. Okay, so here it is. These were the Dragon Ball kids that Miles kept saying. First of all, you got Kim and Mai, which are from Fatal Fury 2. Kim, the Taekwondo guy. Mai, the bouncy ninja, of course, her. Everyone should know her. Then you got an old man from Fatal Fury 1 called Tong Furu. Basically, he's he's basically a copy of Master Roshi. So it's minus the perverted part. He's just an old guy that can basically get muscly, which Master Roshi does. The third hormone, which is based on a Chinese myth, journey to the West with the Monkey King. And then the 2 is Cho Rei and Cho Shu. So this is the one that Miles said, oh my god, what is it? She's Dragon Ball. Which is, I guess, because they are Chinese. They debuted in the new version of Fatal Fury, which is Real Bound Fatal Fury. That's what they're debuting with. They're the new characters. And if you want to know about it, there is a PS2 to a PS4 game called Fatal Fury Archive Volume 2 that has Real Bound Fatal Fury, Real Bout Fatal Fury Special, and Real Bout Fatal Fury 2, I think that's what they're called. I have it for the PS2, never really played it. I bought it, but never played it because I have a PS3, you get the idea. But, yeah, that's where they came from, those 2, Cho Rei and Cho Shu. So they're sort of obscure, and I can't understand why Miles probably don't really know them because they're not really in a lot of games. I mean, the only character that actually went into King of Fighter was Lang Feng Shay, which she debuted in Real Bout Fatal Fury 2, I think that's what it's called. Yeah, she was in the next cartel one, so that's the only that's the only reason why kind of people know it, because they decided to say, oh well, we need a character from the latest Fatal Fury, so there you go. But yeah, Chorin Choshu, I think that's the name. Yeah, so of course, moving to that one is Art of Fighting. Well, here's the tricky part. First, there's a character from Art of Fighting. I forgot this guy's name. Who was in Art of Fighting 1. He wears a mask. He's a Chinese fighter with claw. I forgot his name. This is a part that I can remember because I'm not much of an Art of Fighting knowledgeable. And Fatal Fury, it's kind of like there is a warrior, samurai warrior. So I forgot his name, but a guy's pretty good in Art of Fighting. Then the other two are a little tricky. Why did I say that? Because Rio is in the game. However, his getup is from another game. Excuse me. Because it's supposed to be just like Mark of the Wolf with Terry Solder. So does Rio. So this Rio is called, well, he's not really called Rio, but more of, excuse me, is Mr. Karate, which is, you can remember the name from Art of Fighting, which is Takuma. His second persona is Mr. Karate, which is supposed to be an insane karate master, I think. So he used the name, but that particular Rio appeared in a 3D SNK game. Like what? Yes, SNK does some early 3D games, and it's called Buriki One, which is uh, basically their game of an MMA version of SNK. And one of the character that was a cameo or you get to play was Mr. Karate, aka Rio. So, and the guy, the main character in that one is guy, but it's not in the game. However, he's a hidden character in King of Fighter 11. There you go. So that's what it is. But he does play like an art of fighting. What they did here, a little interesting, is this is actually an old character, but they made him original. Is Robert. Then you might say, why does he look so purple with hair? It kind of reminds me of Eddie Gordo, sort of. The reason is it's supposed to be sort of a parody to Mr. Karate. So what does you see what happened to Rio when he looks old? So what does Robert look like when he's old? Well, there you go. I like the design, but again, he is very original design. But it's just a parody design to Rio to mash them up. But yeah, by it from our friend, it's Robert. Yeah, it looks different, but it's Robert. So there you kind of see the Fatal Fury, the King of Fighter, the other fighting characters. Now we're gonna go a little bit obscure. The next fighting game is the Samurai Showdown and Samurai Showdown 64. Shoot. Yeah. I think they are, yeah. Yes. Now I can remember. There are 5 characters in the Samurai Showdown in this game. 3 of them are from the original 2D Samurai Showdown, and then 2 of them are from Samurai Showdown 64, 64-bit 3D game. So for Samurai Showdown, it had Haomaru, Genmaru, which is supposed to be like the rival to Haomaru, and Nakaruru. And of course, you know who Nakaruru is, because she's in King of Fighter 14. Haomaru is the main character. You've seen him in Capcom versus SNK, and then of course there's Genmaru, which is I think in SNK versus Capcom. Yeah. So there's them. And then the other 2 are Ashura and Shiki, which is supposed to be the main character for the 64-bit version. So they go in 2D form. Asuka and Shura, I think the guy's name. They're supposed to be like demon something, I don't know. Didn't really follow down because a lot of those games weren't really in the home console to some extent, and probably wasn't really that good to begin with. So that's what it is. So then comes that one is World's Hero, and this is the part that surprisingly Miles actually know. He knows Fuma and Hanzo. I guess the ninja, which they're the main character in World Zero. Of course, Hanzo Hattori, Fuma Koga, I think his name. You know, the ninja rivalry. If you watch the anime Basilisk, it's the same thing. The Iga clan versus the Fuma clan. There they are. And the one they said, like, who's Mudman? What is this guy? It's Mudman. It's also from World Zero. To be precise, World Hero 2. a witch doctor. Because if you don't know what World Zero, it's supposed to be characters are based from history. They were sent it to a timeline to duke it out. That's basically, I mean, they're based on historical character. Muscle Power, it's Hulk Hogan. There's Khan, which is basically Genghis Khan. There's a Rasputin. There's a Joan of Arc. There's a Bruce Lee. And you got the idea. I mean, if you want to know more about it, Google it. I mean, it's an okay game, but again, it's a Neo Geo. So and then the last, that's basically a fighting game, but it's a kind of weird one. This is the one that said, "Who is this character? Is this an anime character?" Oh wait, there was another one. By the way, I'll go with this one first. This again, what I was saying is this character. Oh my God, this character is an anime girl. Yeah, she is an anime girl because she's dressed. She dressed high school uniform, and her name is Kisaragi. Kisari. Yeah, Kisari. That's the name. And this is one I'm very obscure that people you get that people's not gonna know, and that is this is a game that's basically developed by ADK. It's part of the ADK Damashi collection, and it's called Aggression of Dark Combat. Yeah, so names kind of weird, but what it is it's when you mix Street Fighter and Final Fight. So what does that mean? Rather than just a 2D platform and you press up to jump, you push a button to jump. You don't duck in this game, but you can move up, down, left, and right. So it's a fighting game, but it's more of Final Fight style. That's what it is. And one of the characters here is Kisari. Again, that's why Max is an anime girl, because she wears a school uniform. She knows how to fight. I don't know her premise because I tried playing the game. It's freaking hard. And also, Fuma's also in that game, believe it or not. Don't know why. So and then of course another one that's sort of popular but not so much against Summer Showdown is Last Blade and Last Blade 2. Last Blade 2 is on the PSN, so it's $10 I think. It's not a bad game. Excuse me. So yeah, it's a PSN version, not a classic version. It's a PSN version. And basically, I think if I can remember, 1, 2, 4. I think there are 4 of them. Yeah, there are 4 of them. There's Kaede Awakening form because I play in the first game. He has black hair, but then he gets Super Saiyan. He gets blonde. But in the second one, it's already been awakened. I think from what I heard, I couldn't really remember. But yeah, he's already in awakening form, Kaede. And then there's Moria. It's supposed to be like a rival. He's a rival swordsman to Kaede, from what I heard. There's, I think, Kaede, I think that her name is. She's a Miko priest. And then there is this guy, and it's a Shinshin Gume. Yes, Last Blade is from the Meiji era. Samurai Showdown, I think it was in the feudal era, if I'm correct, but I can't really remember. Well, I mean, it's a fictional game, but yeah, so there are 4 of them for Last Blade. Again, popular game, but it's sort of a cult following. So now, we're going to go to more obscure of the roster. One of them is from King of Monster, and oh my gosh, I forgot this character's name, and I guess it's supposed to be like their sentinel for SNK, because he's from King of Monster, but he's a Cyber Wu, that's the name. Because the monkey's name is Wu, and it's supposed to be that he died and they made him Cyborg, or something like that. So that's what they did, they had a human version Cyber Wu, and he's from King of Monster too. And he became a robot, that's what it is. And this one, the gimmick is that there's a lady who pilots Cyber Wu. But yeah, I mean, it's not a bad character, but it's hard to play. From King of Monster. So yeah, King of Monster as a fighting character. And then another one is Marco from Metal Slug. So if you're a Metal Slug fan, you know this is SNK version of their Contra game. It's very hard, but it's fun. Finally, you're the poster guy from Metal Slug, Marco from Metal Slug. So he actually plays as a Metal Slug character. Very long range. It's like a zoning character. That's what the people call it, long range. He throws stuff and then he calls one of his POW friend. So those are the actually main roster for the Neo Geo. So that's why, to some extent, like Miles, who is this character? Who's that character? Because there are some. The whole point is they're putting in obscure character that you would not even think to be in a fighting game. Basically, like Marco from Art of Marco from Metal Slug, which is not a fighting game. Most of them are fighting game, but then how do you make Samurai Shodown character to feel for your character, but this one sort of work? Hey, if Marvel vs. Capcom works, so why not this one? And then, okay, so a part I said is a spiritual sequel to SNK Chaos. Why did I say that? Because in SNK Chaos, there are actually, well, two hidden character, well, Capcom and SNK side, but we're just going to talk about the SNK side. And those two hidden characters are like Glass of Open are Mars People and Athena. Yes, they did debut in SNK versus Capcom Chaos. They're basically supposed to be cheesy characters in that one, but they basically were revamped in Geo Battle Coliseum. Because they're not really in, kind of like Magneto and Doom in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. They're just now just character. Same goes with Mars People and Athena, because they were very, very OP boss type characters in SNK vs. Capcom Chaos, excuse me. So of course you just heard the name Athena. Yeah, she's on the game, not Psycho Soldier Athena Asamiya, but supposed to be her previous version called Athena, and she's the goddess. And why does she wear a bikini? I have no idea. It's a I don't know, but that's her basically gimmick. She's supposed to be the goddess, not a Psycho Soldier. Of course, Mars People are basically the main bad guy in Metal Slug. Same deal with them. There you go. So now you got Marco, and then you got Mars People. So again, more obscure. And then last are three hidden boss character in the game, and you did see one of them, but you say, hey, that looks familiar, but is it really that guy? So I'm gonna explain these three boss character. I'm gonna try to remember this in the top of my head. First of all, Mizuchi. He looks like Orochi. Yes, he is an original character per se, but it's basically premises. He's a clone of Orochi that Wars took the DNA of Orochi before he died, and they created a clone. They created Mizuchi. Has sort of a different move. Doesn't really have, I think, yeah, from what I heard. So, the second, and they're basically the boss character, because there are actually four boss characters, believe it or not. So, the second one is King Lion, or King Shin Shishio, or, well, King Lion, or I think that's his name. And there's even Shin King Lion, which is supposed to be a souped up version. But this guy is from another obscure game that people really probably never heard of to some extent. It is also in the PS2 to a PS4. It's an import. There's no American version. And there's a PSN theme, like a theme design. And the Japanese name is Superfuenzen, something like that. But the American version is called Super Combo. It's a weapon-based fighting game, and one of the characters is King Lion, so that's where it's from. He's purple with a sword with a mask. Yep, that's what it is. Again, if you don't know what I'm talking about because I don't have really good visual here, I do apologize. Link's gonna be on the description box from Wikipedia, and you can just read it. I kind of just give the gist of it for what it is. If you guys know, then you know what I'm talking about. So I do apologize for that part. So, and then the last sort of a hidden character, or hidden character, is Dio, and he's an alien. Kind of reminds you of Blackheart, but Blackheart's a demon. You get the idea. Dio is basically an alien. He's from World Zero Perfect, I think, if I could be wrong. He's the ultimate bad guy, so there you go, it's an alien. And again, also if those bosses are cheesy because they're SNK boss, therefore they're cheesy. So now the last basically decent original character and the ultimate boss is Goodman. Yes, you get to play Goodman in the console version. I don't know about the arcade version, but the console version you get to play. I mean, thank goodness in the Xbox 360 version you can get it you can play it for the get go. The PS4 version, sadly, you had to play party mode or survival mode, and you had to beat him. And this is really not that easy because he may be low stamina, but the guy is cheesy as crazy. Let's just say you can just push a button to create fireball. The end. So there you go. The characters I mentioned in the Geo Battle Coliseum. Again, if you want to know more about it, there's going to be a link in the description box via Wikipedia that'll explain who these characters are. But by then, if you're an SNK fan like myself, then you're probably going to know what I'm talking about. If you're not, hopefully this helped. I know maybe I should have put like a visual aid, just like a really good visual aid, like for each character. But like I said, yeah, you know, kind of hard to do that when you got other things to do. I do apologize. But like I said, it's not really hard to find, to understand these characters. Again, you can get it at Xbox 360 for $10 from as of right now. And it's backwards compatible with the Xbox One. Is it a good game? Yes. Is it gonna be like 20 worthy? Probably not. Sorry, I'm an SNK fan. I can understand. So hopefully, you kind of understand what Neo Geo Battle Coliseum and its roster and the storyline. It's a fun game. I can say that. So with that, thanks.